Hello, welcome to Knitting Meditation. I'm Marianne. Today's meditation, I will be reading a quote which we can reflect upon as our hands move across our needles. This particular mindful meditation video is a complement to the blog on the Mindful Collection website. And in that blog this month, I explored the beauty of community through knitters and crocheters. All in history, we would read about knitters who create meditation shawls to give to hospitals or for a friend, or preemie hats for local hospitals. And maybe you've heard of the Linus Project, which are blankets for hospitals. And so I bring that into our knitting meditation today, because when we have our knitting in our hand, it creates this opportunity. We can connect many ways with our breath. But the repetitive movement of the needles in our hands, whether it's crochet or knit, is very soothing to the nervous system. And we have explored in our knitting meditation through sound and the singing bowls, through the movement of our thoughts and the movement of our breath. And so I am going to read a quote today. I often have a knitting journal with me in my knitting bag or in my knitting space. And I encourage you as well to start a knitting journal so you can write down thoughts that become available as we let the mind repeatedly and the stitches move through. It creates an opportunity, a window to listen. I always refer to meditation as becoming aware of the thoughts between the thoughts, or hearing so much more as we quiet our mind, as we soften in the body through the movement, the repetitive movement of knitting. So go ahead and pick up your knitting. And I am so happy that you're here in our community of mindfulness in our knitting. When our eyes see our hands doing the work of our hearts, the circle of creation is completed inside us. The doors of the soul fly open, and love steps forth to heal everything in sight. That's Michael Bridge. So in my knitting journal, I gather quotes. And when I start my knitting meditation, very often I will open to a quote and let it be reflective in my knitting. So as you pick up your knitting today, just that first line, when our eyes see our hands doing the work of our hearts. And in the blog, with that line, it's very common that as we knit for gifts, or we knit for a cause. We knit in history, the socks during World War II. Someone recently shared a story about that, which is very touching, and I felt I wanted to share it with you. As you knit, notice the circle of creation that is completed inside us. The doors of the souls fly open, and love steps forth to heal everything in sight. Again, Michael Bridge. So you're knitting today, let it be a hug as you wrap yourself in it. If it's a shawl, if it's a gift. And in this video as well, you will be noticing the hands of knitters from the knitting group that we have the beauty and the honor to see the different styles of the movement. So I always encourage you, there's no wrong way to knit. There's no wrong way to come to a place of stillness and come to our mindfulness, our gift of quieting, centering, and finding that place of peace. So as I pick up my knitting, I allow that beautiful fiber to move in a way that locks it for me. And again, everyone will have their own way. My knitting today is known as the seed stitch, which is a knit one, purl one. And so as I continue to knit one and purl one, there becomes this rhythm. Very often you'll hear me talk about that rhythm, connecting with the rhythm of your breath, the rhythm of your thoughts. And this particular project that I have on my needles is a cowl, which is also in a circle. And in that circle, that continuous, and I love these circulars because there's no seam. And in this circle, I continue to knit and I continue to purl. Soothing and comforting. And I find that the knitted item is that type of comfort that we have. I look forward to the next time we're together in our knitting meditation, finding a knitting group where conversations are rich as the hands move. I had the honor, as I shared with you, of running a meditation group, and I was so inspired by the meditation that we experienced together that I created this month's blog about it. I look forward to seeing you again and enjoy the movement and the rhythm in this video of the hands as they are an expression of the heart. I wish you peace. When our eyes see our hands doing the work of our hearts, the circle of creation is completed inside us. The doors of our souls fly open, and love steps forth to heal everything in sight.